Lakers are back home after making history on the road and now looking to ride their 4-game winning streak against the Pelicans team, who's going the opposite direction, losing 4 straight. Lakers and Pels at Staples Center, tip-off about an hour away here on Spectrum Sportsnet. Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Chris McGee, James Worthy, Robert Orr. We got Allie Clifton here. We got Brez here. We got Trudell out at Staples Center, and we got another game going on tonight. Lakers return home after a successful road trip. Let's get right to it. The Lakers set a franchise record on Wednesday, their 7th consecutive road win to begin the season. While on the flip side, the Lakers are just 500 at home. So why the dramatic splits? Defense. The Lakers are holding opponents to a league best 99.6 on the road, while letting opponents score about 12 more points at home. LeBron on the key to their road success.
Well, I think we have defensive talent and IQ. You know, I think we're really working hard on that side of the ball. You know, if you have a chance to defend with elite scorers like we have in Anthony and LeBron that are willing passers and, you know, a great support group around them, you know, if we're playing to our abilities, we have a complete team. And, you know, obviously it gives you a great chance to win on the road.
I think we putting the pressure on, you know, the main guys. Especially with AD and LeBron and Marc Gasol in the paint. You know, we try to send them as much as possible to the paint, you know, and just being aggressive on them. And me, you know, I've been doing this my whole career, try to pick up 94 feet, try to make them tired, you know, and get into a set with like 15, 16, 14 on the clock. I think that's when I did my job.
I mean, Dennis is always, you know, out the floor, you know, picking up full court. You know, he even come up and tell me, you know, hey, let's pick up full court. You know, I like that about him. Very defensive minded, you know, and, you know, he's one of the engine that get our defense going as well.
When we defend like that, it gives us an opportunity to get out and do what we do best on offensive end. That's get out and run, get in an early transition. And, you know, we had a low turnover game. So, you know, we combine our defense with our execution offensively and our precision. You know, we're a really good team.
What do you guys make of the Lakers' dramatic home and road splits? I mean, is it a lack of focus on the defensive end, James?
At home, I don't know, Geeter. I think, you know, sometimes when you're just a little bit more comfortable at home, you know, you're not away on the road, connecting with your teammates, when it's just you and your teammates. A lot of times you let, you know, home responsibilities get in the way, whether that's, it could be little things like, you know, picking up your kids or just doing something, going to the barbershop. I don't know. It takes a little bit extra, you know, focus, I think, at home to get ready because, you know, there's a little bit more distractions than there are, you know, on the road where you just focused on what you have to do.
Especially today's day and age when you're just in the hotel only.
Yeah, it's just the players and you know, that's the way it is. What you got, Rob? Bad cop?
No, well, I'm not going to be a bad cop right here. I'm being a realist right here. If you think about it, look who they played at home and they lost to.
Clippers.
Playoff teams.
Blazers.
Look who they played on the road.
No, I agree.
So it's a big difference. Yeah. And I know they come out with a lot of energy playing these teams on the road that are not as good as they play at home, but they need to find a way to find that same energy and play these good teams because the teams they play on the road, we all know none of those teams are going to the playoffs. They're injured, they're rebuilding, and so they need to find that same focus. It's easy to jump on a team that's not that good. Jump on a team that's a successful team because against Portland, not so good. Against the Clippers, not so good. Against San Antonio, who's one of those teams in the middle, but they have a good veteran crew. They need to find out to figure out, hey, we are playing for us. Come out and have a good first quarter, and then figure everything else after that.
Both those teams, Spurs and Blazers, really attacked the paint against this Laker team, hoping the Laker team's kind of flip the switch. We'll see tonight. It's a good offensive team. Someone will get a needed win at Staples Center tonight. The Pelicans have lost 4 in a row. With the latest, let's go downtown to join Laker reporter Mike Trudell. Mike.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Staples Center. Well, Geeter, my answer to that question is that Anthony Davis kicked things up an extra gear on the defensive end of the court, and they just happened to be going on the road because it happened after the Spurs game, and he, of course, missed the Bulls game. So he really took things to a different level, and that's what I put to Frank Vogel a couple of moments ago, just asking what he thought AD has meant and how much better he played on that road trip.
Well, he's sort of the centerpiece of what we're doing on that side of the ball. The most talented defensive player in the league, and we're enabled to, just basically stay home with whoever he's guarding, whether it's a switch and a mismatch or his own guy, unless we want to bring a double team because we feel like we can turn someone over, have somebody out there that can guard, basically every position, sets a great tone for us. So, he's definitely our leader on that side of the ball.
New Orleans has taken a step up in defense this year. The shooting hasn't been there so far. Do you take anything from a 10-game sample with them, Frank, and how you approach this game?
Yeah, it's early. They've lost some close games. I think their team is better than their record suggests, and I think that's indicative of what they're doing on the defensive end. Coach Stan has always been a defensive-minded guy. They work hard. They honor the paint first. They get their guys back. They hit people on the glass. They hold people to one shot, and you're gonna have to work and execute offensively, to score at a high rate.
Dan? Frank, are they going to challenge you guys a little differently at the block and at the rim than some of the other teams you've seen because of Zion and Adams?
For sure. They have great size at the basket, and we got to make sure we're intelligent when we get in there. Not only do they have great length at the basket, but their scheme is to bring five into the paint. They want to make you kick it out. They're one of the best in the league at guarding the paint, and they give up the most threes in the league. So you have to take what the defense gives you, make sure you're not forcing at the rim, still attack the paint to make sure you can draw that type of help. But you have to play paint to great basketball against this team.
All right, Geeter, so I'm going to knock on some wood. It kind of looked like I did it there in the court. I don't have any red around me.
I like it.
But the Lakers are fully healthy tonight going into this one, which says something in the current environment. They get Wesley Matthews back. He, of course, missed the road trip with the sore Achilles. Just saw him hit 1 billion threes in a row. Well, 1 billion is probably a little much. Many in a row. So Lakers.
Wednesday's win over the Oklahoma City Thunder, the purple and gold, improved to a franchise best 7-0 on the road to start the season. The last time the Lakers were this good on the road to start the season, Magic was dishing no looks and Cap was serving up sky hooks. Following the win, LeBron spoke about the team's mentality following the successful road trip.
We just have a bunker mentality when we go on the road. It's just us. And obviously it's even more just us because of the restrictions and the COVID and everything that's going on. So we come together even closer.
Brian, when you made your last three over Roby, who were you looking at in the stands? Anybody at all? And did anybody else catch you again?
I don't know, man. It was actually somebody up there, but I was actually looking for nobody. I mean, I'm just, visualizing us having fans back in the building again at some point. It was great to see some fans in Houston. Me playing the game that I love to play, and then along with the fans, something I dream about all the time. So even when I'm on the floor, just try to let them know that we miss them, and that was one of those moments.
Is it really a road game? You don't know, there's no fans, so. The court just, is the only difference. But we go out and try to compete, each and every night, even though we're still trying to figure things out. And if we can get a win out of it, then it just makes it a bonus.
Honestly, at the end of the day, man, you got to respect it because we went out and played the game. No matter whether the fans was there or not, no fans score a single basket or, make a single defensive possession. So at the end of the day, we went on the road and we still carried out our game plan, both offensive and defensive, to win the game. So I don't care if fans are in there or not. That has nothing to do with, what's going on in between those four lines. So, I don't pay that any mind. We came out. We've done a great job on the road thus far, and we're just trying to continue to keep it going.
So we heard some mixed responses there about facing teams on the road with no fans. How much, Rob, do the fans impact the game?
A lot. I think every guy needs the fans to push them along. And you have those moments in the game where you're going up and down the court and you don't have that energy. And you can look at the fans, home or away. You can look at the fans and they can guide you to that extra level because sometimes you just don't have the energy, and the fans provide a lot of energy. And you want to put on a show for them because that's what it's all about. Put on a good performance for your fans. Even on the road at home, you just want to show your best outing.
James, it's interesting. On the road is usually the place you like to hear silence as the road team, right? You're drawing that energy from your guys, but, there are always Laker fans everywhere. But it's interesting to be at home and hear no fans. That's where I think the struggle could come.
Exactly. Throughout an 82-game schedule, like Rob was mentioning, you pull from different resources, your pregame workout, how you get ready. And sometimes you just need that sixth man, as they call it. The fans, you make a big play, big reaction, it's loud, they're calling your name, it pumps you up, it gives you a little bit of energy. And without that, they're having to rely on each other. They're doing a pretty good job, LeBron turning around, talking to his teammates, that kind of thing. But nothing replaces the magnitude that when you're driving down the ramp, there are fans out there waiting for you on Chick Hearn Avenue, all that kind of stuff. And on the road, you take pleasure in doing this in the fourth quarter. Excuse me?
Silence is definitely.
Yeah, so it's definitely fans are missed.
All right, let's bring in the last two members of our crew waiting patiently. Hi, Allie.
Hi. Geeter, my mother told me that patience is a virtue. So here we are. Let's welcome in our Lakers insider, Mike Bresnahan. It's time for Brez's three-point play. Three things that you are looking forward to in this game. And you want to start with the Lakers setting that franchise record, Brez, with 7 consecutive wins on the road to start the season. But as Geet just mentioned on the flip side, they're 3-3 at home. What do you make of these home road split spreads?
Yeah, home sweet home. Not exactly for the Lakers. I love some of the theories everyone's talked about already on the show. I'm going to add a couple as well. Definitely a difference being on the road this year. Usually if you're an NBA player, you've got friends on the road. You've got maybe some family members, maybe some ex-teammates you want to meet up with. That's not the case this year. You're in your hotel room and you're going to one place and one place only. That is to the arena, either for a practice or a shoot around or the game itself. So the Lakers have a lot to do at home, a lot more to do, so to speak. And I think the schedule also has been more difficult actually at home. Like Rob said earlier, you've got Dallas coming in here. You have the Clippers on opening night, a pretty good Portland team. Tonight, though, we'll see what they can do. Only 2 home games before, yet again, that big 7-game road trip through most of the Eastern Conference.
We move on to LeBron James, who continues to evolve his game in his 18th season in the league. LeBron is now setting career highs in three-pointers made. Is this LeBron adapting as he maybe gets older?
Yeah, Allie, I've got some bad news for the rest of the league, kind of like a public service announcement. LeBron is starting to hit his threes in big flurries. It's really starting to impact the Laker game plan. Look, back on Tuesday, 4 threes against Houston, including that no-look three. Never seen anything like that before. And then the following night, just 2 nights ago in OKC, he was 5 of 8 from three-point range. And we've seen him do this from time to time. He'll get on these hot streaks of three-point shooting. And look, he's not Steph Curry. He's not Klay Thompson. He's never going to be invited to the NBA All-Star three-point contest. But he can get in these little situations where he's just pushing the team to victory by doing it the easy way, just sinking 3 after 3 after 3. I've done my work. I've warned the rest of the league.
And as we know, he'll shoot them from anywhere, even if it matters or means the logo.
Logo threes.
Montrezl Harrell, Brez, your final point, is starting to settle in with his new team, and it's evident with double-digit points in his last 5. It looks like Trez feels more comfortable in his new setting and playing his game.
Yeah, Allie, I got a question for you. Do you ever envision Trez like sitting at home, just kind of drinking hot chocolate, relaxing, kicking back? That is not what he does the night before a game. I'm convinced, the night before a game, he's got his cardboard cutouts of the upcoming opponent. And he just bashes right through him because that's exactly what he's been doing on the court. OKC just 2 days ago, he was just bullying through these guys. He is not afraid of anyone. There's no resting in his game. There is no taking nights off. It's been fun to watch him when he was with the Clippers a little bit. You admire his grit, his motor. But now he's with the Lakers, and you see him every single night. You realize this guy just doesn't stop. He is redlining every time he gets in his car. And goes over to the arena. Hey, by the way, he's got to be the lead candidate for Sixth Man of the Year. He won it last year, as we know. So it'll be a little encore performance, perhaps, for Montrezl Harrell.
Now we all know what Brez does at home at night. Drinks his hot cocoa with cardboard cutouts of Rob, maybe?
Yeah, I'd like to crash through Rob. That'd be fun.
Well done, Brez.
He really, he started to kind of take his stride right before he left L.A., he was starting, he had a couple games where I think he was, a stretch of games where he was averaging mid-20s and 8 boards and a couple assists. And then I know the worker he is because I see him work every day, pre-practice, post-practice, and I'm sure he does the same thing in the off-season. He seems like one of those guys that just has that drive and that love for getting better and being in the gym and working on his craft. So I'm not surprised that he's there. Maybe surprised at how quickly he got there, but that's probably just a testament to how hard he's worked.
Brandon Ingram has showed flashes of brilliance when he was here with the Lakers, and now he's in a leading role in New Orleans, and he's thriving. He's an all-star. Leads the team in points, leads the team in assists at over 5.5. And he's got 7 boards a game, too. Have you seen maturity in his game, James?
Yeah. I mean, anytime you're with a younger unit and you're a young, talented player, you get a chance to, showcase your talent. When he was a Laker, we knew he could play. But when he went to New Orleans, he was the guy. And then Zion came along with Ball and Hart went there and some other players. But he has improved. He's improved enough to become an all-star with this organization, on the East Coast. Not sure if that same type of flourish would have happened on the West Coast, but he definitely was noticed as a threat and a really well-balanced player, doing a good job in New Orleans.
He's doing a great job in New Orleans. You got to understand, sometimes people need to spread their wings and fly. I think here with the Lakers, he was just starting to do that. Then you bring in LeBron. Not saying LeBron clipped his wings, but the ball got out of his hands. When you're able to handle the basketball, you're able to do a lot more offensively. And when he gets in the groove, when he's handling the rock, he can get other guys involved. His maturation as an NBA player, you saw it when he was here. He was getting better and better. And now that he's in a team that's pretty much his team, he can flourish. I know a lot of people want to say it's Zion's team or Ball's team, but we all know it's Brandon Ingram's because he's the most improved player and he's the all-star.
And he was the main piece in that AD trade for the Lakers to acquire him. All the other guys, yes, were a part of it, but the Pelicans were not doing that trade without Brandon Ingram being involved. All right, in other news around the NBA, the James Harden saga continues as the Nets held their introductory press conference today for the newly acquired guard. Harden spoke about his tumultuous exit from Houston.
I wasn't disrespectful to anyone. Those guys had just got there, Houston. I've been there for a very long time. I've been through all the ups and downs, with that organization. And I wasn't disrespectful towards anyone. I just made a comment, that the team as a whole wasn't good enough to compete for a title. And, at the stage of my career, right where I am now, that's what I would love, And so I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to anybody, especially not to the organization. And like I said, I'm excited to be here in Brooklyn, excited for a new start.
Do you regret the way it ended, though? I mean, it's a place that you loved and you had so many highlights.
Yeah, I regret because I'm not the type of guy to, I don't need the attention, especially the negative energy, the negative attention. Like, I've never been that guy. So there were some things I felt like out of my character, but the ultimate goal was to get somewhere, where I can compete. And here I am in Brooklyn. I have nothing but love and respect for that organization, that city, and everything that they've done for me and my family. Much respect.
Hi, welcome to Brooklyn, James. How would you describe your conditioning level now at this point in the season?
Great.
Great with a smile. James Harden continues to deliver soundbite gold. Brez joins us. Listen, Shaq and other NBA greats have been critical of Harden in how he left Houston. Remember, he had 2.5 years left on his contract. He was given another star multiple times while he was there, and just the way he started the season, Brez, and acted towards the guys in that locker room. Where are you on your thoughts with him going to Brooklyn? He complained and he got what he wanted. He's there.
Yeah, I don't love when players do that if they have more than 1 year left on their contracts. Like you said, he had almost 3 full seasons to go, forced his way out. And I'm not convinced it's going to work. You and I have talked about this on these shows the last day or two. Super teams can look good on paper. LeBron, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, they did their thing in Miami. That worked out well. LeBron, they went to Cleveland, another good team with Kyrie, Kevin Love, and of course LeBron. That ended well. But last year, at about this time, we were talking about some pretty good Houston players. Westbrook, Harden, Clint Capella. They were supposed to do some damage. They lost to the Lakers in the second round. None of those guys are with that team anymore. And of course, the Lakers have their own experience with this 2012-13 season. Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, Kobe, Powell, Metta. Never really did much. Lost in the first round in 4 games. So I want to see it on the court. It looks good on paper, but I want to see it on hardwood before I make any judgments.
Brez, where would you say your game shape is right now?
Great.
Perfect. Rob, jump on in. What do you think about how he went to Brooklyn?
Well, I think we all do things and we look back upon it and we regret it. You know, I regret what happened between me and. Let me stop lying. I don't regret it.
You don't regret what Danny Ainge said.
Stop lying. But, you know, on a serious note, I think he regrets how he handled it. He could have been a little bit more professional in his manner, but he didn't leave a good taste in the Houston fans' mouth, because when he says he did everything for that city, he's lying. Because he didn't win a championship. That's doing everything for that city. And that's how you rate guys. He did not bring a championship to that city. The city did everything for him. They backed him. They came out and supported him. The organization did everything for him. They got him the players he wanted.
Every player he wanted.
And it didn't work out, because now you're seeing that it's not going to work out here. You want to move on to Green. But if you really think about it, he kind of put the Houston organization in the hole in a bad situation, because they did everything for him when he was there, and he left them with, you know, no disrespect to Oladipo, but with Oladipo and draft picks. And draft picks are no guarantee. I know everybody's excited about the draft pick, but draft picks are no guarantee. So I'm a little upset how he handled it, especially when the city and the organization did everything for you.
Yeah. I can't say too much after that. I just say the power of the player, the modern day player, that is what's evident. You know, when they want something, they have a tendency to get what they want, regardless of what's left on their contract. You know, there's no more, you know, Reggie Miller spent his entire career in Indiana. You know, and I think they had to, you know, got some success, but you don't have that anymore, especially when guys are seeking and searching for a championship, you know. So
Paul George signed a contract in Oklahoma City. A year later, he was
gone. I mean, you know, it happens. Guys want to win, and it was ugly. It was ugly looking, but he did what he had to do to get out of there. He made it look ugly. It was disinterested, you know, kind of disrespectful to his teammates. But he knew that would work to get him out of there. So
now he's on a super team.
He's gone.
So now he's got to win multiple rings.
He's gone.
Right?
But is this really a super team? 3 players that do the same exact thing, not specialists. It's going to be hard.
On paper,
all heck to handle the rock, and
I agree.
It's going to be interesting.
You know, can they stop anybody? That's that's going to be the issue.
All right, tip-off in downtown LA is coming up at the top of the hour. Lakers and Pellies here on Spectrum Sportsnet. Kyle Kuzma, one of 6 Lakers, averaging double digits and shooting the 3-ball better than ever, 38% from deep so far this season. And coming up in his 18th season, LeBron, a lot about LeBron. And another aspect to LeBron's game that has improved is the use and efficiency of the 3-ball in his 18th season. The King is shooting more and making more 3-pointers than ever before. Look at those numbers. James, is this a product of LeBron's game evolving as he gets deeper into his career?
What doesn't he do at this stage of his career? Yeah, and that does happen. There are many stages throughout an NBA year. It's usually 3, you know, like first 4 years, then your prime, you're about 27, 32. And then if you're still hanging around like Kareem did, you have to do what LeBron has done, become disciplined about his workouts, how he approaches the game. And yes, it's definitely a stage that he has perfected at the age of 36. He does everything, and that has taken a little bit of time, you know, over his career. So he knows what he has to do. He's been in so many video sessions. He's played so many players. He's used to knowing, you know, the tendencies and how to play certain defense. He's seen it all in the playoffs, pressure moments. So he has all that data, and he still knows how to use it.
Can I say something to that?
Oh, yeah, sure. Allie's
the one thing as you get older, Allie, I'm sorry. Oh, it's just Allie. We're taking our time anyway. As an older player, you learn how to recognize everything. It's about efficiency of movement. You only move as much as you have to and conserve that energy. So LeBron is becoming great at that. Efficiency of movement.
Throw it over to Allie now.
He doesn't know how to pass. He doesn't know how to pass. Let's be real. But I was going to give you a compliment for your versatility from going from one wall to the next.
Thank you.
But I'll take that back.
Too late. You already put it out there.
Moving on. In July of 2018, the LeBron James Family Foundation opened the I Promise School in his home city of Akron, Ohio, dedicated to students who are already falling behind. And in
conference showdown with Steph Curry and the Warriors on Monday. The Lakers will then begin a 7-game road trip, including the Bucks, Bulls, Cavs, and Sixers. The reigning 6th man of the year, Montrezl Harrell, went beast mode on the Lakers' road trip. In his last 4 games, he's averaging 17 points and 8 rebounds. And improved on the defensive end as well. Let's check in with Mike Trudell, talking with Trez.
All right, Montrezl Harrell, kind enough to join us on the pregame show. So you had the nice 3-game road trip, had a pretty steady lead throughout, Montrez. Now you get back to Staples Center. What's the mindset heading into this one against New Orleans?
To come out here with that same defensive mindset we had on the road, trying to carry it over into these couple of home games we have before we get back on another long road trip. But, just coming and trying to keep that same momentum we had, trying to carry it over to this game, really. We was back into the same stadium we had with no fans. So, we're going to have to create our own energy, but I think we're ready for it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different New Orleans team this year, just in that they get Steven Adams to shore things up inside. Zion is physical as well. I assume that you like matchups like that with bigs that like to, throw some elbows inside. Montrez, is that fair?
I do, but it's more so just for me doing it. But, no, I mean, we know it's going to be a physical game. We know these guys are, almost, if not first in the league in offensive rebounds. So we know we're going to have to task on our hand of boxing out and keeping these guys from getting second and third chance shots. But I think we're prepared for it. We know we have coming into this game. We got a great game plan. I think we're going to carry it over tonight.
There's that thing in the NBA they say when you get back from a successful trip, sometimes teams have a human nature tendency to let the foot off the pedal a little bit. How do you make sure that that isn't the case for you guys tonight?
Honestly, I don't think we're looking at it as anything like that. We know what we're trying to get to, and I think with this team in general, we're thinking of the overall mindset. You could take a game like when we played in Houston where we were, the road trip in general, where we was up almost all those games by big amounts. We was looking more so at the big picture. So I think this team in general sees the bigger picture than more so, the overall game. So I don't think that's going to be a problem tonight, really.
All right, makes a lot of sense, Montrez. We appreciate your time, man. Have a good one.
Thank you, sir.
Rob, you asked and you shall receive. You wanted more Trez, you're getting more Trez. 17-8 over his last 4 games.
Yeah, 17-8. He's been dominating the paint and showing everybody what he can do and why he was 6th man of the year. He's so good around the basket. I haven't seen a guy this talented around the basket. If you look at him, it's just a little flip. Just a little flick of the wrist, he gets it in the basket. And when he does go to the hole, he goes with a lot of authority. As you can see there, Smith move, laid up the glass. He rebounds. He's going to offensive rebounds. He's just one of those workhorses that you love to have on your team because you know he's going to have that energy every night.
And here's the criticism, James. I think he's working on that defensive end. He's working on the pick and roll. He's coming over from the weak side trying to get more block shots, taking charges.
Absolutely. And that happens. You come from college to the pros. You're playing against great players every night. They take away your strengths. He had a little bit of offense in Louisville, but not what he has now. He's worked on it. I mean, he's quick. He's got quick first step, spin moves. He loves to contact. A lot of his offense is based on how he contacts and how he hits the body, but his effort, along with his improvement of the 15-footer and how he faces up now,